relationships with now President Donald Trump, and most have declined to explain. However, Patriots owner Robert Kraft decided to break down his loyalty to Trump to the New York Daily News, citing Trump's compassion throughout the time he lost his wife Myra to cancer in 2011. Here's what he had to say. When Myra died, Melania and Donald came up to the funeral in our synagogue. Then they came for Memorial Week to visit with me. Then he called me once a week for the whole year. The most depressing year of my life, when I was down and out, he called me every week to see how I was doing, invited me to things, tried to lift my spirits. He was one of 5 or 6 people that were like that. I remember that. Robert Kraft may be comfortable answering questions about Donald Trump, but his quarterback, not so much.
Did Trump call you? I'm joking. Don't answer that question.
Not you. You're the ones that are not supposed to ask those questions.
What are your thoughts on what's going on in the world right now?
What's going on with the world, Buck?
I'm asking you.
In what sense? I haven't paid much attention to what's going on.
The country, President Trump, all that's happening and so forth.
You know, like I said, I'm just a positive person, so, you know, I just want the best for everybody.
So, Max, Robert Kraft answering questions on Trump. Brady is not. Is he getting let off the hook?
No, in this case, Brady's not, because he's about to play in the Super Bowl. He's an athlete not only in midseason, getting ready to play in the ultimate game, and is allowed to focus on that game. After Sunday, we can talk about Brady's position vis-a-vis Trump. Robert Kraft is in a very different position. Yes, you could say he doesn't want to cause a distraction to his team, et cetera, and the excuse, because you need an excuse at this point for your support of Trump. His excuse is they're close personal friends, and Trump has been there for him, and that's a very good excuse. But history is watching, and Kraft and eventually Brady are going to have some answering to do. When the President of the United States is lying or either doesn't understand the information, and I don't know which is worse, when the executive branch may be publicly defying a federal court order, which is ignoring a check on power, when the position vis-a-vis Russia lines up exactly with the Kremlin's, and there could be business conflicts. You know, these are things that have, in my lifetime, in my memory, have never happened before. This is not usual. There's no equivalency with other administrations we've seen. And it is a critical point in American history. And to pretend it's not, to pretend history is not watching is not true. It is. And people like Robert Kraft do have to answer now. And he has. And he, I think, gave the best possible answer. I still don't think it's good enough. And Brady, who's an athlete about to play in the Super Bowl, does not at this moment. So, no, Brady is at this moment not being let off the hook.
You want it, Stephen A?
Go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
We're trying to decide how to react to Tom Brady's one-week reprieve from answering before the Inquisition on his political views. So he gets a pass this week, but next week, that's the week we'll all drag him out in front of the public and really force his hand.
That's right, Will. Yeah. That's right. You're going to pretend that this is not unusual, that bad stuff isn't going on? Do you want to pretend?
I'll tell you what I'm not going to have to pretend about.
Max.
I'm going to tell you what I'm not going to have to pretend about. I'll tell you this. The argument that you forward, and you're not alone, there are many. There are many with blogs, there are many with podiums, there are many with microphones who say similar things to you, reminds me of someone who's never had to win an argument in 8+ years, who's never had to actually engage in a debate, who's never actually had to persuade someone over a very long period of time, because the only possible position you can see at this point is that if somebody disagrees with you, they have an unacceptable position. Not that they're
incorrect,
wrong.
Will. Facts are facts. I'm sorry, you can't get away with that. Facts are facts.
Well, finish.
No. I'm not going to let anyone get away with saying facts aren't facts, and everyone's entitled to their own set of facts.
Let him go, Max, and then you can respond.
Let him go. You're right there.
Max,
let him speak. Go ahead, Will.
Here's the thing. I have afforded you respect on every single debate you've ever established or put forward with me. I would expect the same. And excuses and interruptions and calling to account and holding people accountable in front of the public as though you need to flog them for their political views, to me, Max, I'm going to be quite honest here, are the ultimate height of weakness. If you have an argument...
This is not political, Will. This is common decency.
If you have an argument If you have an argument with Tom Brady, if you have an argument with Robert Kraft, if you have an argument with Donald Trump, make your argument. Make your argument before the public. Persuade them. But this inquisition that you're on, not just you, I don't mean to be, this is not targeted at Max Kellerman because it's much bigger than that. But this inquisition of anyone that disagrees with you and suggesting that they are so far beyond the pale. And I guess I need to make this clear one more time. This isn't even something I don't think I disagree with you on, Max.
Sure.
But I have a larger point to make. And that is that you need to open yourself up to actually having an argument to ever win one. You will continue to lose. You will lose it here with me today. Yes, you will lose it with me today. You will lose it in elections. You will lose your principle. You will lose your position because you're not actually facing up to the debate.
Lost the argument.
You're not facing up to the debate. What you're doing is you're dragging public figures out and saying we must expose them for anything they disagree with me on. You're doing it over and over, and once they speak, we interrupt, we shame, we shout down.
Well, wait,
you don't persuade. You don't
I will
persuade.
let you continue. I just want to.
I'm done.
We have never seen, ever, in American politics in our lifetime, an administration continually come up with their own set of facts. You know, that has been investigated and are uncontroversial, and then insist, no, those facts aren't true. These facts are true.
Max.
And this is an authoritarian, from the authoritarian playbook, you create fatigue with people because the media has this case of, as you know, on the other hand. So here's one position. On the other hand, let's consider this. But if the facts are continually generated from I don't know where, but are clearly untrue and disprovable, and we continually pay attention to them as though there are two sides of the argument because there are two sets of facts, we miss the point. This is a unique case. This has not happened before. And so when someone is continually caught either lying or misunderstanding simple facts, and people say, whoa, wait a minute, this is not normal, and then people, well, let's hear it out. Well, what you're going to be hearing out is one side clinging to facts that don't exist, and the other side actually offering facts.
Look,
don't pretend this has happened before in our politics.
I want to let Stephen A. in, but I just want to make this point, Max. If what you say is true, it both heightens the need for you to persuade people to your side and secondarily should make it easy for you to do so. Not drag the quarterback of the New England Patriots out and chastise him for his potential disagreement with you.
Is that what happened throughout the Western world right now? That the populists are the angry populists who make up their facts, the authoritarians are losing the argument, or are they winning the argument precisely because of the tactics that I just described?
I've had it. I've had it. No, enough. I've had it. I'm done. Here's the deal. Couple of things that we want to mention. Number one, the only reason I believe that Tom Brady should be asked about Trump is because anybody else would have been asked about it. When he returned from the suspension, when he had a game on a day that it was the second debate between Hillary Rodham Clinton and Trump, in the immediate aftermath of the tapes coming out, because of his support and his known friendship with Trump. I think that anybody else would have been asked, how do you explain this, or how do you feel about your friendship now, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's it. Outside of that, that's the only reason. I just believe that anybody else would have been asked about it. That's why Tom Brady should be asked about it. But to your point, Will, he should be left alone. They all should be left alone. They should have a right to their feelings, their beliefs, et cetera, and be done with it. Here, Max, and Max, I'm sorry, I got to get on you about this because I just can't take it anymore. You need to understand. Everyone doesn't understand what you understand. They're not paying attention to that. You're trying to tell me that it's beyond the pale, it's beyond the realm of comprehension, that Brady may have absolutely, positively no knowledge whatsoever about policy, about politics. He may not care. He just played golf with the guy. That's what he's thinking. You treat people as if they're just rife with knowledge about every little intricate political detail like yourself. And
I want to respond to that when you're done, Stephen A.
Hold on, I'm not finished. I'm not finished. They don't feel that way. If a Max Kellerman twin was friends to Trump, then I would understand your position. But the fact of the matter is there's plenty of people out there that are not thinking about things as in-depth, as intellectual, as informed, and beyond as you. And when you sit up here and Will is getting into a debate with you, what you're not appreciating is the fact that people are not looking at it your way because they're not paying attention to the degree that you paid attention to. You just spouted off a whole bunch of facts that even I did not know because even I did not pay attention to it, and I happen to like politics. So it's not beyond the realm of comprehension that Brady is just preparing himself for a Super Bowl or was preparing himself for football games, or Mr. Kraft sits up there, and this man is renowned. He's a phenomenal owner. He's about football and business, and this man called him after his wife died every week for a year. And you said, hey,
I gave a good explanation.
That's not good enough. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a good explanation.
That's not acceptable.
No, that's good enough to support the man, but not the politics. That's good enough to support the man, but not.
But he's not supporting the politics.
It's a little confusing to me.
He's supporting the man because the man supported him when
on
his
a personal
wife
level,
died.
that's fine. On a personal level, that's fine. But when he's president of the United States, people. That's fine on a personal level. This is a little confusing to me.
He didn't bring up anything about politics. He said the man is personal.
On the one hand,
he said the man is personal. He has a personal relationship with the man based on that.
Stephen A., on the one hand, Will Cain accuses me on this show and has accused me of essentially elitism, right? Like, this is the problem with the elite. You don't understand what's really going on. You're condescending to people, etc. On the other hand, you're accusing me of talking over people's heads. You have to dumb it down to explain to people. People aren't paying attention. Which one is it?
Well,
is it that I'm condescending, or is it that I should dumb it down? I don't understand. I think the best policy when you comment on matters such as these is to look at the facts and explain what's going on. And if other people have positions that support or are against, and by the way, at this point in this country with what's going on, I don't think ignorance is an excuse for anybody. And if people have a position that either is for or against Trump and his administration, I'm sorry. It's not about dumbing it down or condescending. It's about giving you the straight dope.
Okay, Max, just to be clear, for our personal relationship, anytime I've accused you of elitism, it's mostly been tongue-in-cheek. I mean, I hold no negative opinion from you in that light. What I have accused you of, though, is essentially suggesting that debate is beneath you on these issues, that disagreement is beneath you on these issues, that you don't need to engage with these issues. I don't hold Stephen A.'s opinion that somehow you are incredibly more informed than every single of the 63 million people that disagree with you. I think you're very informed.
I didn't say that.
I
didn't say that, Will.
You said people that aren't as informed as Max, and therefore he talks above them on this. But
no, Will. No, Will.
Okay, I apologize if I mischaracterized.
He talks to folks as if everybody's informed, and some people are not. Mr. Kraft is about his personal relationship with the guy. He ain't thinking politics. Brady is the same thing. That's all I'm trying to say. They may not be paying attention the way Max is, and Max is accusing them of doing so. That's my issue.
I just don't think, Max, to be clear, my only criticism of you, and I think in this respect you are symbolic of many involved in this debate right now, is to act like debate is not needed, is to act like persuasion is not needed, to act like engagement is beneath you. It's that the facts are so clear and the positions are so obvious that all you have to do is surround yourself with people that agree with you and put microphones in front of your faces, and that should solve the problem.
We have to go to break.
You're
Max,
right. Persuasion is needed.
Go.
Persuasion is needed. Debate is not beneath me. But the acceptance of facts as facts and the rejection of fiction as fiction must be. That is the prerequisite to have an honest debate, and that's not what's going on right now.
We need to leave it there. Intense,
and I must insist that it is what
debate
happens
right here. I appreciate all of your perspectives. We got to move on, and let's get back to sports. How about it? Coming up, has Greg Hardy run out of chances in the NFL? We'll discuss how him and some other NFL outcasts might be getting another shot. Plus, Darren Woodson is finally making his return to First Take, set for the first time since Aaron Rodgers did this to the Cowboys. Remember how Stephen A. called him out? Will we see you after Sunday regardless?
Absolutely.
Regardless.
Absolutely.
Win or lose.